Hi guys! So I'm just gonna get straight to the point. Today's film genre is sci-fi. And I know we promised you guys a guest, but everybody canceled on us. What can we do?
Yes, Wilson, I'm talking to you.
Whoa. We're gonna bleep that out. Oh my god. And then just like a whole list of like 10 other backups that also canceled on us. But it's fine. It's fine. We're all you need.
Mm-hmm. We are the world, I guess.
Yes. So the problem with not having a guest is me and Shar actually both don't really watch sci-fi.
Mm-hmm. True.
And so all of the iconic ones, like what can you name? Star Trek, Star Wars,
The
what
Terminator, Space Odyssey.
Yeah. All the iconic ones. We don't have any knowledge because we haven't watched them. But it's fine because, okay, it might be a shorter episode, but it's okay. It's okay. At least you have something.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shar, as usual, has compiled a beautiful list for you guys. And I will be here commentating and reviewing movies that I've never watched before. So let's go.
Okay. I actually broke it down into two sections. The first section would be just sci-fis in general, and the second section would be sci-fis directed by Christopher Nolan, because he's probably one of my favorite directors.
Yes.
So let's get straight to point. So the first one I'm gonna talk about is Edge of Tomorrow. And Brie would probably get why I like Edge of Tomorrow when she hears the casting list. Of course, the
Let's search it up.
The protagonist is played by a certain man called Tom Cruise. And you know, I cannot resist Tom Cruise.
Get me out of here.
But if we don't talk about like the casting list, but only about the plot, I think it's also an okay film. It's not really that creative or that novel. That at some points it kind of resonates the Groundhog Day. Oh, I should have put the Groundhog Day in my list. But
right.
I'm just gonna briefly talk about what it's about. So basically, there's a military officer who has never been to the battlefield, who has never seen combat before, is now forced into the front lines. And he accidentally gets exposed to alien technology. And he discovers that the reason why aliens are winning, like the epic war between humans versus aliens, is because they have the ability to travel back in time and figure out like what what plans us humans are using, what schemes we're using, what time we're planning to attack, and therefore like they could always get the best of us. So the military officer gains the same ability when like alien blood spilled all over him, and then
That's sick.
and then he uses the ability to travel back in time to fight.
Wow.
And try to win the battle.
Epic.
I know. And there's like a love line romantic relationship in there, which is
obviously, because what else can Hollywood do?
Hollywood.
Name a movie where there's no romance. Can you name a movie where there's no romance?
I'm trying to think of one, but I can't come up with any.
Okay, what about Toy Story?
So Woody and Bo Peep became a thing in the last movie, and they kind of eloped. And then there's also this weird tension like going on between Buzz Lightyear and Jessie the cowgirl. So even Toy Story is romantic, and you could see like how wrong the movie industry is. I just want people fighting. I don't want them fighting for love.
There you go. Cast her as your new main character. I want fighting, but not for love. Just the violence. No. Okay. What's the next movie on your list?
The next movie is Jurassic Park. I've also watched the 3 movies in Jurassic Park and the 2 movies in Jurassic World, and it's kind of like a disappointment, except the first one, because it's all so to people who've never seen the movie before, I'll quickly summarize it. So basically, humans using this DNA extracted from an ancient mosquito revived dinosaurs, and they're kept in a zoo called Jurassic Park, and people could go over there and feed them and see T-Rexes, which is super cool. But the problem with the Jurassic Park series is that the plot is basically the same. It's always like, ooh, we use DNA technology to do it, to create a T-Rex, or blah blah blah, or whatever, like Rex that sounds really ferocious and strong. And then, oh my god, he broke out and he's running away. Oh no, it's so dangerous, we're all gonna die. And then this time, like, the handsome main protagonist stands out, fear not, I will capture him and bring him back to where he belongs. And that's literally the same plot for 6 movies. And it's honestly just so tiring, because, like, why?
Imagine how much money would have been.
Yeah.
Like, their budget would have been, like...
And they have huge
Painfully.
Budgets, which is just
painfully high. And obviously, the dinosaurs would have been, like, man animated. Man shadowed, man cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, wow. That's disappointing.
It's just too repetitive, and it kind of gets boring.
Yeah, there's no plot development whatsoever. It's just like rising action stays at rising action over the course of like 12 hours, because added up it's probably 12 hours, and there's just no climax and no resolution because they're all the same. Wow, that sucks.
And then I feel like in Jurassic World 2, the writers kind of discovered that their plot was being too repetitive. So instead of clone dinosaur, they decided to introduce clone girl, like cloned woman. And at this point,
please.
the whole story doesn't even take place in Jurassic Park.
That's what you do when you try to incorporate new things into a storyline.
And I spent like 2 hours in the cinema wondering like what I'm doing with my life, what I'm doing with my time, what I'm doing with my money.
With all that gas you spent driving to the cinema. Okay, anyways, what rating would you give that series? 2?
The first one was actually good. I would give first one a 7 or an 8 because I've never seen anything like that before, and it was so new, and the series were actually good. And then for the rest of the series, I would give them a 3 or a 2. Yeah.
Are we surprised? Okay, moving on. Next title.
This is actually different from what typical sci-fis are like. It's WALL-E. I think it's a Disney animated cartoon movie thingy. So it's basically about global warming and climate crisis made Earth an inhabitable place. And humans just started to fly. They went on this huge spaceship and started flying out of the solar system in seek of a new home they could live in.
Imagine if we could do that right now. The Earth is just so destroyed.
Yes, I agree.
And Mars is... Okay, do you think Mars is gonna work? I honestly don't think Mars is going to work.
I mean, Mars is smaller than Earth. How are we supposed to fit everyone on Mars?
I mean, literally flying out of the solar system, out of the Milky Way, would be a better bet than going to Mars. Like, it's just not going to work. Like, I don't want to exercise for 23 hours. It's not even 24 hours a day on Mars. It's like 40-something or something, or even less, or even more. I don't even remember, but yeah, I don't agree to this. Give me my CO2 back. No more Mars air. Just give me my oxygen. Okay, wait. clarification. CO2 is not oxygen. I can't do science. Okay, CO2 is not oxygen. Please don't complain to your teachers that I'm a bad teacher. Okay? Yes, thank you. Now, what is also on your list?
Wait, but that's not the plot of WALL-E. That's only the beginning of WALL-E, like where the plot
Oh yeah,
starts.
right. Sorry. I completely blanked because of thinking about science class, but it's fine.
It's okay.
Thinking about all that astronomy I did.
I think of the chemistry because I'm so bad at chemistry. But so WALL-E is a robot that's left behind to clean up Earth. And then humans would occasionally send artificial intelligence to Earth to like find trees and grass and such living things so that they know that Earth is back to its normal phase and they could come back and like restart the whole story. So WALL-E fell in love with the robot that's sent to Earth. Her name's Eva.
Are we surprised?
No, but it's really, really sweet. It's not like this action movie with a very messy,
Sappy romance.
Yeah, it's just
It's
a
just
very
sweet.
cute story. And then like
Aw.
Eva found trees, right? So mission completed. She's gonna head back to the spaceship, like millions of, I don't know how far is it from Earth. And then WALL-E decided to pursue his love, so he follows Eva and goes to outer space and tries to win her back.
Aww.
And like what's really
Cute.
interesting about this film is that it has no dialogues. It has no dialogues between WALL-E and Eva. It's just in animation with like really, really cute songs and soundtracks and such.
Oh, that's so cute.
I know.
Aw.
It's so heartwarming. I cried.
Aww. Don't cry. We'll find you a Wally.
Yes, please.
Comment down below if you want to be Char's Wally.
Yeah, please be the WALL-E to my Eva.
Aww. Okay, what's your next title?
Okay, so we're done with the adorable stuff. We're back to like disasters and
Oh dear.
so the next movie is 2012. I watched this several years ago and I don't think I could remember the plot like that clearly. But basically there's something wrong with the sun or with the earth or anything. So basically the earth or something is burning out and humans are doomed to die. And they decided to like start a program called the ARC program or something. So they would basically go into huge boats and then sail away. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, well now that you were saying like years like 2012, there's also a sci-fi called 1984, I think.
It's not a sci-fi, it's a dystopian story.
But I just searched it up because I thought it was a sci-fi, right? But it says that it's a sci-fi on Google. Who trusts Google at this point?
Google, I hate you. I hate you. As a book fan, I cannot tolerate this. I now clarify that 1984 is a dystopian novel and not a sci-fi. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
We hate Google. Defund Google.
Oh, okay. I guess we're not getting that sponsorship, but it's
One more
Okay.
reason to hate Google.
What about Back to the Future?
I've never watched it before. What do
Okay,
you
but
think
like
of
it's
Back
that
to the Future?
it's that iconic movie. I watched it in elementary school with my class for like last day of school because that day. Wow, how many years ago that was? I don't even remember, but it was pretty cool. I don't know. It's just all of these films incorporating like all that modern technology, time travel, teleportation,
Quantum
invisibility, all that.
physics.
But like all those concepts, I find that really, I don't know, kind of inspiring as well to this younger generation. It's Yeah, it's just inspiring, and it's very nice to see. I don't want to say like moved. Yeah. Oh, influenced. Okay. Influence!
Yay!
Influenced. Thank you very much. My brain is working today. Okay, influenced by these subjects. And I don't know, it might be a real thing someday. Well, no robotic, well, no, not robotics, no acting required. Yeah.
Imagine how fun science class would be if we watch sci-fi movies instead of learn the Bohr-Rutherford diagrams.
Remember The Martian?
Oh, yes. Which is
Okay, let's talk about The Martian. No, because we both watched it, which is so rare. have we both watched any of the same movies? We've both watched Crazy Rich Asians.
yes.
Okay, there's one. Okay, but The Martian we've also both watched. So it's another one of those kind of planetary science films for those of you that have not heard about it or seen it or yeah.
It's also starred by Matt Damon, and for that reason, I'm 10 out of 10 recommend movie.
Okay, but now for the ultimate question. Matt Damon or Tom Cruise?
Matt Damon.
Oh! Okay.
Be the Matt Damon to my Tom. Oh, wait, that sounds so wrong.
Wait! Whoa!
Okay. Never mind.
Be the Wally to her Eva.
Yeah, be
Not
the
her Matt Damon to her Tom Cruise.
Matt Damon is mine. Yeah, anyways, I kind of have PTSD over this movie because we had a huge project inspired by it.
Yeah, I'm very salty over that.
I
I'm
mean,
so salty. I got a good mark though. So
same.
Not
Not
complaining.
complaining. Just not happy, not satisfied about.
not satisfied on
groups.
how long that took.
And how we aren't
Okay.
able to choose our own groups.
Okay, anyway. All that school drama is for another episode.
Yes.
What do you think about The Martian? I think it's very cool. It's another one of those like movies that actually educates people, like, and it honestly stimulates people to get their hopes up for moving to Mars. But as I said, I really don't believe. Maybe I should trust the process, but I just like honestly have watched too many in a nutshell videos to like be completely supportive of that project. But
It's okay. Some people still don't believe in vaccines, so.
some people are still flat earthers. Anyway.
Oh, did you search up the Instagram account Flat Earth Society?
No.
It's like, please search it up. You'll get like stunned by how dumb people actually are.
Okay, we'll talk about memes another day. Comment down below if you want a meme episode of us just reviewing memes. That would be pretty fun.
No, we could do like a
That would be pretty
meme
fun.
review or something.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun. Okay. Anyway, so Martian 10 out of 10 because of Matt Damon, and 10 out of 10 that was from Shar, and 10 out of 10 from me because it's pretty much educational, so it's pretty cool.
Also, 10 out of 10 for potatoes because I believe in potato supremacy.
Oh yeah, potatoes. Except gas. Doesn't it give you gas? Okay, TMI. Okay, any other titles on your list? Shar is done with me. Shar is like, can you get out of my house? Okay.
I'm just gonna move on to the second section, which is the Christopher Nolan Special Edition. Whoa. So, because we're running out of time, I'll only cover 2 of his movies. The first
and then you
one,
can briefly name them.
like the first one is his classic, which is Inception. So what Inception is there are 2 protagonists, Dom and Arthur, and they are extractors. So what extractors do is that they use experimental military technology to infiltrate your target's subconscious, which is basically they construct a dream world and lead the victim or the target into that world, and they extract information when the target's sleeping. So Dom's wife Mal is also an extractor, but then she got confused about reality and the dream world she constructed, and finally she went crazy and she jumped off a building, and it harmed Dom. It's like he felt scarred for life, and he just decided to like completely stop doing this kind of business and like just live a happy life. But he had a lot of criminal records, so he literally can't return to America, which is his home. And he wanted to go back home to see his son, to see his daughter, to see his family. So he decided to take up one last deal from a man called Sato. So Sato
Sounds evil.
So Sato told Dom that he wants him to implant an idea in a man's conscience. So, or the term interception, hence the title of the film. So Sato wants Dom to convince Robert, the son of Sato's competitor, to dissolve his father's company after his father dies. So we love corporate monopolization, but that's for another day. We could talk about economics, but like whatever. So Sato promises to clear Dom's criminal status, and therefore he could return to his homeland.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So Dom organizes a team, steals Robert's, like, implants an idea in Robert's mind, and then they leave. Yay.
Wow. Sounds action-packed.
It's like action versus sci-fi, and it's just super cool because there are
combat of a lifetime.
And another thing I really love about Christopher Nolan is that he really uses technology for like effects and stuff. So for example, in Inception, there's a scene where like a person is in the corridor of a hotel, and the corridor starts turning around and the man just can't stand still. They actually built like a turning corridor thing tubed so that they could film the scene. It's really cool.
So reminds me of what's his name? That magician. What's his
Houdini?
Zach King.
Zach King.
King. Yeah. He's so cool. Any other movie titles that you would like to mention?
So the final movie I'm gonna mention is Christopher's newest movie called Tenet. So this would be a bit hard to explain because I to this day cannot still fully understand it. So basically it's just scientists found like technology called inverted entropy. So basically meaning that objects or human could move backward in time. So if people was if a person was walking forward, he would now be walking backwards and something like that.
Wow.
And the technology is currently selling in the dark market or something, and the protagonist's mission is to try to retrieve this technology from it being in the bad hands, and the world gets destroyed and stuff. And it's basically the story of him finding the technology.
Cool.
I'm sorry for this pretty lame summary, but like I really don't know how to introduce it or
it's difficult to comprehend. You require a great consciousness to be able to comprehend it.
Yeah.
Wow. He's a great director.
True.
I just would like to mention, since we're on the topic of like sci-fi and technology, right now, currently in the present, we're talking about like futuristic technologies, right? But as a society, we're technically heading towards, I don't know, achieving those technologies in in real life, technically.
Yeah.
So at that point, do you think there will still be a sci-fi? Do you think we're going to reach even higher? Do you think, what advancements do you think there would be?
Well, I guess they could focus on. Well, obviously there are no limits, right? Because
True.
they could just imagine or think of whatever they may think. I mean, I dream of very weird things that does not make sense, but makes sense at the same time, if that makes any sense. So there will be no limits. I mean, when people in 1960s write a sci-fi movie, they probably never thought that there would be cell phones, right? And when people from 70s or such write about going to Mars, aliens on Mars, water on Mars, people actually moving to Mars, like they wouldn't be thinking that people nowadays is really giving it a serious thought and really trying to experiment and trying to investigate it or something.
Right.
So I feel like it could forever go on and on and on and on. For example, why just limit on Mars? Why not Venus? Why not Neptune? Why not Pluto? If I name every planet in the solar system, we would have hundreds, thousands of more sci-fi movies just in different settings.
Yeah. We just need an asteroid on Earth. Just take all the resources from it and then just send it hurtling back to another star. But yeah. Wow. So basically, take away from this episode, never tell yourself that there are limits, because there are none. Keep reaching higher, and
don't
who
stop
knows what
believing.
humanity will become.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so to conclude, as always, thank you so much to our subscribers and non-subscribers. Actually, only 20% of our listeners are actually subscribed. So if you enjoy our episodes, if you enjoy our content, please consider subscribing. It is free. You don't need to pay, and you can unsubscribe at any time, but please don't. Please comment. Additionally, added on to that subscription. And yeah, thank you again.
We'll see you next Saturday at 6 p.m. Bye.
Bye.